At 8:42 in the morning, Alex Rivera opened an email that looked completely normal. No flashing warning, no skull on the screen, no message saying, "You are being hacked." Just one quiet notification inside a crowded inbox. The subject line was simple: updated invoice, action needed today. Alex had seen hundreds like it before. Invoices, shipping updates, vendor documents, login confirmations, tiny pieces of office life that arrive every day, blend into routine, and disappear almost as quickly as they came. But this email was different. Not because it looked dangerous, because it didn't. By the end of the week, one inbox would become a doorway, one password would become a key, and one ordinary morning would turn into a cybersecurity incident no one at North Star Components would forget. This is the story of the email that opened the door. North Star Components was not a giant corporation. It was not a secret government lab. It was not the kind of place most people picture when they hear the word cyber attack. It was a mid-sized company that supplied electronic parts to manufacturers, a sales team, a warehouse, a finance department, an IT team that was always busy, a normal business, doing normal business things. That is exactly why it was vulnerable. Cyber attacks do not always begin in dark rooms with complicated code. Sometimes they begin inside routine. Alex worked in operations, which meant the day was built out of small decisions. Confirm a shipment, check a vendor update, review a document, answer one more email before the next meeting. On that morning, Alex was already behind. There had been a delayed shipment, 2 missed calls, and a calendar reminder that would not stop blinking. Then the email arrived. The sender name looked familiar. Keller Freight. North Star used Keller Freight all the time. Trucks, invoices, delivery updates. Nothing unusual. The message was short. "Hi, Alex. We noticed an issue with the invoice attached to last week's shipment. Please review the updated document before end of day so we can avoid a processing delay." Underneath was a button. View secure document. That word, secure, did a lot of work. It made the email feel official. It made the button feel safer than an attachment. It made the request feel like a standard business process. Alex paused for maybe 2 seconds. The timing made sense. The vendor made sense. The problem made sense. And when people are busy, make sense can become enough. Alex clicked. A login page opened. That did not feel strange either. Cloud documents asked for logins. Shared folders asked for logins. Vendor portals asked for logins. Alex entered the work email and password. The page loaded for a moment. Then a message appeared. "Document unavailable. Please try again later." Annoying but not alarming. Alex closed the tab and went back to work. The attacker did not. To Alex, nothing happened. To the attacker, everything happened. Somewhere outside the company, a username and password had just become useful. Not magical, not cinematic, just useful. A password can look boring until it is in the wrong hands. Then it becomes a door handle. The attacker did not need to break through a wall of security. They tried the key, and the key worked. Inside the mailbox, they did not make noise. Noise gets noticed. Instead, they watched. They searched through old conversations, invoices, payments, vendors, approvals. They studied how people talked to Alex and how Alex talked back. Who trusted Alex? Who approved money? Which conversations were already in motion? That is the part many people miss. A phishing attack does not always end with the first click. Sometimes the first click is only the entrance. When people hear the word phishing, they often imagine a terrible email full of spelling mistakes, a fake prize, a strange warning. Something so obvious it almost feels funny. Those emails still exist, but modern phishing can be quieter. It can use the name of a real vendor. It can arrive at the perfect time. It can copy the rhythm of normal work. It can hide inside a message that feels familiar enough to ignore. Phishing is not just a technical trick. It is a story designed to make the next action feel reasonable. Click this because it is urgent. Log in because it is secure. Approve this because it is routine. Ignore the feeling that something is slightly off because you are busy and everyone is waiting. That is the real attack surface, not the computer, the moment. And the email that fooled Alex was convincing, but it was not perfect. There were clues. The sender name looked right, but the actual address was slightly different from what the company usually saw. The message created urgency without giving Alex time to verify it. The button led to a login page Alex was not expecting. The document failed immediately after the password was entered, and most importantly, the email arrived in the middle of pressure and routine. That last part matters. Phishing often works because it catches people when their brain is already full. Security is not only about being smart. Smart people get fooled all the time. Security is about building habits that still protect you when you are tired, rushed, distracted, or under pressure. A password manager can help because it is less likely to offer your password on the wrong site. Multi-factor authentication can help because a stolen password alone may not be enough. Reporting suspicious messages can help because one warning can protect the whole company. But the simplest rule is this: when money, passwords, or urgency appear in the same message, slow down. Late Thursday afternoon, Maya Chen from IT Security noticed the first strange signal, an unusual sign-in, a mailbox rule Alex did not remember creating, messages marked red before Alex had opened them. Each clue by itself could have an explanation. Together, they formed a shape. Maya called Alex. "Did you create a new inbox rule this week?" Alex paused. "No. Why?" That was the moment the story changed again. The company reset Alex's password. They reviewed recent mailbox activity. They warned finance. They checked payment requests. They searched for similar emails sent to other employees. The response was not glamorous. It was careful, urgent, detailed work. And that is what real cybersecurity often looks like. Not movie magic. People noticing small things before small things become bigger things. Alex was not careless. Alex was human. That is why this story matters. The most dangerous cyber attacks are not always the ones that look dangerous. They are the ones that look normal enough to borrow your trust for just a few seconds. So before you click, pause, check the sender carefully. Be suspicious of unexpected login pages. Verify payment changes through a separate trusted channel. Do not let urgency make the decision for you. And if something feels wrong, report it. Not because you are sure, because you are not sure. That uncertainty might be the warning. At North Star, the damage was limited because someone noticed the pattern. But the door had already opened. And in cybersecurity, the scariest doors are not always locked with complicated technology. Sometimes they are opened by a normal email, on a normal morning, by a normal person just trying to get through the day. This was Breachlight, cyber stories that reveal how digital trust breaks. Next time, we follow a different kind of attack, one where the hacker never had to break in, they only had to be trusted.